I do quite a lot of these in parts, but when I look at the views, I notice that often part 4 gets tons of views.
News. London Transport say they may have to close the underground system due to an infestation of horses.
Loads of horses, at least 30, I'd say. As the train approaches, they start running away from the train.
And what the drivers say they fear most of all is a head-on collision with a blind tube mare.
What's up, YouTube? Hello, it's me, back again, rolling out the content like the trooper that I am. Thank you for watching. Thank you for joining me. It's Blind Tube Mare. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the notifications button, leave comment below, Sunny, and share. And yeah, we're diving on into Stewart Lee. I just want to say a quick word about my teeth, because I've been criticised for having yellow teeth. I've also got a missing tooth there, but yeah, a couple of comments on TikTok, you know, could be upsetting, but I'm not upset because you know, I don't want to look like Max Headroom.
Everyone knows that frozen peas are as fresh as the moment the pod went pop. But what about frozen meat? Is that as fresh as the moment the cow went?
And B, at least I've got teeth. You know, you see these people on Love Island. Oh, they're getting to know each other. Oh, you're so attractive. I like your teeth. Oh, lovely teeth you've got. Strange obsession. They're obsessed with teeth these days. Yeah, my teeth, they are a bit yellowed, but at least I've got teeth. A lot of these young people, they have these days, they basically, I could have had this done. I was offered this by a dentist that, I'll take all your teeth out, file them down, put little metal things on, and then replace them with these sort of fake teeth. I mean, that's fine. And I mean, maybe I would have had that done. Can't really afford it. I've got my cat's shut up. I can't really afford it, frankly, at the moment, and don't know if I'd really want to spend all my money removing all my teeth and replacing them with fake ones. But you know, these people, if they become down on their luck, because they've spunked all their money on cocaine and dildos from being Instagram influencers and whatever, and they get to their mid-50s, they may not have enough money then, and then their fake teeth will start falling out, and they didn't sign the warranty, and they won't be able to afford to put new ones in. So that's my prediction for the future, and you know, also proves I'm not AI, and which is good, because you wouldn't make an AI avatar look like this, would you? Look at me, look at the state of me. Right, so let's plunge on with Stewart Lee. Wonderful man, wonderful man, in a very serious and earnest Channel 4 discussion with Chris and Guillermo.
I mean, the thing that I love about you is that, you know, you don't ever hold back from saying or naming the people, and even the publicity for this show names Dave Chappelle, Ricky Gervais, and Jordan Peterson.
Yeah, I mean, that's like, I mean, I don't equate them as being the same as.
They're not the same.
It's slightly it's kind of funny, like two things and a really awful one. But yeah.
But what is it about what Dave Chappelle and Ricky Gervais are doing that you are kicking against?
Well, I think the with Gervais specifically, I think the thoughtless stereotyping of less privileged minorities in order to get cheap laughs. Yeah, and I think
beautifully summed up. What a twat he is. He's a good writer. The Office was good. He's not a stand-up, is he?
So when he says it's a joke, it's not what I think.
Well, it depends.
I did like what he did at the Golden Globes as well. That was quite funny.
It depends on how the audience take it away, doesn't it? And saying it's a joke, it's not quite enough. You know, there has to be some sort of character behind that, or there has to be some overarching shape to the idea. It's not a get out of jail free card for everything. Particularly, the problem that those people have is we all, in my generation of comedians, particularly in this country, we came out of a culture where even when the Tories were in power, in media and in entertainment, there was a sort of a liberal consensus, right? So when Sadovich started out, and he would say, his opening line was, Nelson Mandela, what a C word. You lend someone a fiver and you never see them again, while he was in prison, right? To say that to the kind of white liberal social worker audience that were in the audience for an alternative comedy gig is really funny, right? But the problem is those kind of things now are being said by Nigel Farage or Donald Trump, or they're out there.
Nigel Farage's act is terrible. He's not funny at all. You laugh at him really rather than with him. His jokes are just they're aimed at fucking idiots, as far as I can see.
So you're saying you're the same as them?
Yeah.
I'm never going to see him at the Comedy Store ever again. He's not. It's not worth the ticket price.
It's not some sort of kickback against So
when Dave Chappelle hits out about the trans issue, he's now with mainstream opinion and the Supreme Court.
Absolutely, he is. He's with mainstream opinion, and he's with he is with a drift towards the right that has left, in the pursuit of clarity, vulnerable people feeling uncertain of how they're perceived by society now and what the way forward is. So I think they. What I noticed with Bill Burr, for example.
Before he talks about Bill Burr, I'm so conflicted. I don't know. I wonder if a lot of other people feel like this. It's so confusing these days. I agree with what he's saying, but I cannot help. It's like you're fighting against brainwashing constantly. Because I agree with what he says about trans people, they're vulnerable, it's not fair, it's nasty. But somehow there's so much rhetoric that basically laughs at everything the left says. It's very hard to earnestly agree with these sort of sentiments without feeling stupid, without feeling like a little limp lettuce lefty dickhead. And it sort of makes me really sad. I don't know. Anyway, shut up, phone.
Who's another American stand-up who I suspect isn't right-leaning but has got a lot of comedy out of misogyny. He's trying to sort of backtrack a bit. Even Joe Rogan, who you could say is probably personally responsible for a significant amount of the Trump vote, is asking questions about due process and things like that, and whether it's right to just deport people to El Salvador. They let this monster out of the box, right? And they were toying with it, and they were playing with fire. And now, as the world drifts towards a reactionary consensus, they need to wonder what part they played in it. And to say it's just a joke, I don't think is necessarily good enough.
I suppose that
they'll be the first against the wall when the revolution comes, I tell you. The first against Joe Rogan will be, and that'll be the end of his channel.
The defence, if there's going to be one, includes, yes, but the liberal left went too far.
Yeah,
it's the same old argument. Political correctness had the same thing in the 80s and 90s.
Yeah,
but there became a tyranny of progressives.
Yeah, I understand
as well.
that.
Which
the left are also twats, because what they should have been focusing on was things like workers' rights, and now we're all getting much poorer, apart from a very small minority, and that is bad. Not the fact that people are singing Bar Bar Black Sheep. I mean, there aren't people singing Bar Bar Black Sheep. Well, there are, and it's fine. I haven't got a problem with it. carry on.
Also needed to be cut against.
Yeah, I mean, I
and that's what they were doing.
Yeah, sorry, go on.
But the question is, in doing so, you still end up punching down.
Yeah, I mean, as soon as you've said punching down, there'll be loads of comments below the line on this when you put it on YouTube of what a cliched idea that is, and there'll be loads of people that appear on GB News panel shows furious with you for even saying that. But yeah, you're right. I mean, I'm lucky, right, in as much as...
What's wrong with punching down? I like punching people who are less fortunate than me. It's fun, and it's funny.
I'm allowed to have a bit more fun in my act because I can attack my audience as well for being liberals and progressives, and because a lot of them are liberals and progressives, they like it. That's the thing about those people, is they recognise the stereotype of themselves and they enjoy being attacked for it. I did a benefit for an environmental charity the other week, and I spent the half hour complaining that they were all trustafarians and that they shouldn't block up the road and killing people, blocking up ambulances and stuff like that. And
but also, of course, there are large sections of the left that don't have a sense of humour, to be just for some balance, that wouldn't go and see comedy shows, and I know some of them, and they're quite annoying.
But then somebody filmed it, and it looked like it was on YouTube for a bit. And I was very worried about that because those jokes worked in that room for those people at that point, and I wouldn't want them decontextualised as evidence of what I actually think, because I don't think that. But you can say that to those people, and they like the catharsis of being insulted. I get trans people come up afterwards when I'm selling the stuff afterwards and signing things, and people often say, we're really happy that we can go to your shows, and we know we're not going to be insulted in a really obvious way. The caveat I would have there is that if I do a joke about them, it's going to be original enough that hopefully they're going to have to laugh, because it's not just going to be my shoe identifies as a Wellington or whatever. Yeah. You know what I mean? So it's going to be like, and I think actually the liberal audience are very good at laughing at themselves. So you can on stage I can have it both ways, really.
I identify as an old man with bad teeth, and my pronouns are his toothness and tooth man.
Are you generally? I mean, you sound like you watch the news a lot. Do you have to?
Yeah, I mean,
You're not news avoiding.
I watch news. I watch news and read news all the time. I watch Channel 4 news. I can. I miss the BBC newspapers review. I used to think that was great at 11 o'clock. It's not there anymore. I watch the Sky one, but a lot of the contributors they have, the binary nature of it is so tedious, you know. And I don't really listen to BBC News anymore. I kind of lost faith in it during the Robbie Gibb era. I just kind of think I don't feel I can trust it. So you know, I read left-leaning and liberal broadsheets and follow-up stories, but I always make sure if I'm writing about something, I try to make sure I fact check it and where it's from, and you know, you have to do that now.
But you're not. I mean, a lot of people are finding the news crushingly depressing.
Well,
you're not.
No, I mean, I am.
You are.
And in fact, you know, I was doing a column every week or every 2 weeks for the Observer for 15 years, and it did become increasingly depressing because it's rapidly. I don't see a way out of where we're going. You know, and so
So when you talked about fascism in your last column,
yeah,
you
let's call it what it is. Absolutely. I mean,
you think that's where we're heading?
People are pussyfooting around this idea. You know, you people are being deported wrongly from the States to an El Salvador jail without due process. What's that? Trump is doing deals for resources with dictators. You know, it's.
Didn't people used to pretty much uniformly think that Guantanamo Bay was a bad thing? Like outside America. They did, didn't they? But now it's all right to send people to El Salvador.
Printing pictures of topless 13-year-old girls is illegal, isn't it? Would be if they were 13. Well, how old are they? Over 18, etc. And can you prove that? Yeah.
Doesn't seem right, does it?
It absolutely is that, and we have to call it that, and we have to act in the way that we should have done more quickly in the 30s, you know. And I mean, I just got an offer. Will you come and do a week in this club in Chicago? It's not something I'd normally do anyway, because at the moment I'd have to take a huge set of an American cityscape and 2 full-size werewolf costumes. I'd have to get those through American customs at the moment. But
they bloody hate werewolves in America. You'd never get that through.
But I wouldn't work in the States at the moment. I'd worry about them going through my jokes and ending up spending 2 days locked up without my heart medication. You know, I just would worry about it. So I think
this is the bit that I did in another video. Do watch that, where I reviewed Akkad Daily, which is Carl Benjamin going on a laugh. I mean, he made a good joke, you know, that Stewart Lee does a thing about if you say you're English these days, you'll be locked up and thrown in jail. And here he's saying that if I go to America, I'll be locked up for being left wing. But I mean, I was hearing something, and I, you know, as per usual, I haven't really checked it or fact checked it or anything. Could just be made up. But there was some woman in America recently. Maybe I'll put something on the screen if I can be asked. Who there was some student, wasn't there, who got sort of picked up off the street by the FBI or something, and bundled into a car because she'd disagreed with university policy on something, and she's now being deported back home. I mean, that's pretty bad, isn't it? Is it? I think it is.
I think, yeah, we are heading up, but it is depressing, and I was a bit worried that the topical jokes are becoming like the dance band on the Titanic, you know, where and people will write me these letters and go, the only thing I look forward to every week is at least having a laugh about the news with your column. Like,
imagine people writing letters. God, they must be old.
Crying about so you know, you feel a sense of responsibility as well.
But is it good for comedy?
Yeah, it should be. Yeah, it should be good. I mean, absolutely. Although, of course, Peter Cook always had that very famous joke about when people say, I used to ask him if the establishment club was making any difference. He said it was, let's not forget what a vibrant cabaret scene there was in Weimar, Germany. You know, kind of like what. But yeah, it should be good. It should be good. And in fact, also in times of censorship, or when people are afraid of what they can say, sometimes you get really interesting creative work where people are trying to find new ways of expressing things that don't fall foul of official guidelines.
The trouble is going to be how people find it.
The trouble is going to be how people find it, because what's happened to lots of the great liberal satirists that came up through social media in the last few years, they have, to all intents and purposes, been silenced by the. But they in the window after the collapse of print media, you know, which is on the way down. A lot of people, and in the reduction of TV comedy, and in the caution that mainstream broadcasters have about political material, we'll never really know why the MASH report went down, you know, on the BBC. I think they were being hysterical, saying that it was closed down for political reasons, but maybe it was. We'd never know. You know, the social media enabled people to flourish in that gap, and I think people had no reason to believe it wouldn't always be thus. And lots of campaigns got traction on it. You know, lots of the resistance to Tufton Street attempts to infiltrate things like the National Trust or whatever was driven by people organising on social media, and that will be much harder now for people to get any traction going.
If you can't trust the National Trust, who can you trust, really, these days? You know, these days, if you say you like wildlife, you'll be arrested and thrown in jail. Right, let's leave it there. I didn't do a big section. I might have one more of these. The funny thing about these videos is I do quite a lot of these in parts, but when I look at the views, I notice that often part 4 gets tons of views, but part 1 hardly anyone's looking at. I don't know what it is, or part 3. I mean, clearly not that many people are sitting there going, "Oh, I've watched part 1. Oh, let's see what happens in part 2," which is a bit unfortunate. But never mind. I'll just forge on, try and get the views in. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the notifications button, leave a comment below, Sunny, and share. And just thought I'd say that. It's all a bit depressing, isn't it? I hope you're enjoying this. I like seeing Stewart Lee talking seriously about things, but I am, as I'm sure many of us are in a sort of maelstrom of slight despond, as I try to avoid being dragged further into the centre of my YouTube bubble. It's just constantly being shown things that the algorithm thinks I want to look at. I have found something recently which is very good, which is a Smirsh Pod. Do watch that. It's funny. It's some sort of guys probably about my age, about 50-ish, watching old James Bond films and things and doing a sort of commentary, and they're very funny, and it's very entertaining, and it's not political or depressing or right or left wing or anything. There you go. Another one done. Do support the channel, please. And thank you if you've subscribed recently. I'm a bit tired today because I went to see Left Field at Brixton Academy, and I've posted a few videos of that as well, so check those out. And that's it. Thank you. Signing off, and don't nobody go nowhere.
If you look at what people say about you and what people think about you and what's going on, I think your function is pointless.